Hey, good people. I know y'all used to having some music from me. I'm your spiritual DJ on top of being all the other things that I like being. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go on and get started. Coming in real quick with you today. I want to give you a chance to get here. I want to give you a chance to get here. How you want some music? Y'all like my DJ skills? For some reason, they didn't block me the last time, so so let's see. Let's see what we can create while y'all come on in and join. Come on in the room, y'all. Here we go. I like this one. Thank you for joining. Hey, thank you for saying hey. Greetings, greetings. I see more of you here. Let me turn this up a little bit. I'm a trick for this. They cannot resist. This space is on the bench. Take a space, sis. I hype me up, I gas me up. I hype me up, I gas me up. I hype me up. Come on, let's get started. Take a space, sis. I can't see everybody's if you don't agree for me to see your handle. So push through, sis. Push through. Ghetto, not designed for my band. I know when to chill. I'm humble, yeah, I don't shy away from compliments I receive. I'm worth the fuss. I know this inner work will take me from petty to queen to goddess to priestess. Competing in comparison is enough for me, though. Come on, y'all. My growth is not duplicatable or copy friendly. I am powerful beyond measure. The version of me others created in their mind is not my responsibility. I normalize saying no when others want too much from me. I uproot any soul ties of attachment that has held me hostage to lower paradigms of thought. Frida in the house. Come on, Frida, Susan, Keela. Who else is in the house? Hey, come on in. Have a seat in my living room. A living room, honey. We came to live, have life, and have it more abundantly. Allow others to tell on themselves. Their true nature will be revealed. That's what I gotta know. I love myself and others out loud. I am proud of what and who I love. I do the most for mine. I use my voice, my heart, my thoughts, my truth to speak up about what I want. I don't use coded language. I'm loud with it. It's noticeable that I'm no longer stuck in chapters with women who don't match my vibe. That's on period. That's on period. Are explored by genuine connections. I'm worthy even when I'm bored, even when I rest, even when I am confused, even when I'm still healing. I feel so right and enough, and that feeling won't stop. Sis, my intuition said what she said. I trust her now. I show up fully being the most. I won't over-explain myself. I am who I am. I bring what I bring. And I'm bringing this to you from Tony. Energy, though. I'm so awake to this big energy essence. Tony Jones. Nothing will stand in the way of affirmations for grown women. This is how my needs are being met. I won't explain why I'm so dressed up. I'm the most always. No matter how it makes others take up space, sis. Somebody just said, I came to take up space. Honey, I ain't shrinking a kid. Take up space, sis. I got my room with this. In the bar, in the bedroom, in the Zoom, on the IG, in my truth, on the beach. They take up space. Hey. I'm a trick for this. They cannot resist. Space is on this. I'm a trick for you ready, y'all? I ain't gonna be here long. I promise. Y'all feel me? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I just came to because somebody somewhere has some good news. Oh, I said I was going to put the link in for you to come and join me on camera. Today, I really would like for you to be able to come in and share Any of your awarenesses, anything that you have had happen from you working with a pocket full of money, happy pocket full of money, or working with a pocket full of money. but I just put the link in so you could jump on and join me live and speak for yourself, or you can write it in the comments and I'll read it. But if you've been working with a happy pocket full of money, so you've had some aha. Who had an aha that you want to share? Come on and just join me on the link, because a reminder is a blessing. I learned that in my old days in the Nation of Islam, as a Muslim, when I was studying with cheap scientists and teachers. Peace and blessings upon some of them, and give thanks for many of them who taught me that a reminder is a blessing. A reminder is a blessing, because sometimes we forget. How many of you can testify to the fact that you have tools? You know things, but when information is coming to you and other reports, how many of you have had prayer requests come to you for somebody, for some loved one who's had a health crisis, not just because of the current environment of the plague, not because of the new strain that's being announced, not because of that, but there are still other people who are having natural life events that are happening. How many of you have had a prayer, somebody reach out to you for prayer? How many times have you had somebody saying, pray for me, whether it's on Facebook or a direct reach out? How many times have you turned on the news and had to just turn it off because your spirit just couldn't handle another incoming, a note of bereavement, concern, or worry? How many? Is it just me? Is it just me? And talk back to me. So could you use some good news? That's what I want to know. Could you use some good news? I came to bring you some good news today. You got to tell me you want some good news. I need you to tell me in the comments, I want some good news. On YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. I need you to tell me. This has to be a cooperative conversation. Tell me you need some good news today. Hey, sunshine. Hello, sunshines. My sunshines. Rebirthers, juicy butterflies in the house, just real healers. You want some good news? Come on, I need for you all to tell me. I got 2 people who say they want good news, but I got more than that watching. I need for you to tell me if you could use some good news. Come on now, you got to play along. That's a word in itself, is learning what to play along with and what not to play along with. All right, sis, we got a third person that said they want some good news. We got more people watch. Come on. Sometimes you have to engage and disengage. Know the difference between what you engage and so sometimes we'll look and just feed, but then we won't engage. And I used to be just like you. Like, I remember when I first started going to church, after not being practicing Islam for so long. And so of course it's a strict practice, is focused. And then I remember when I went to church and they said, stand up, everybody stand up and clap your hands. I thought, does it take all that? So just to jump right on in, sometimes when you want some good news, sometimes you got to send a signal to the universe that I'm ready for some good news. I'm calling for some good news. See, we keep on waiting for something to happen for us to react to. But the thing is, we have to learn how, we have to learn how to happen to our life instead of waiting to react to what is happening in our lives. And so when you happen to your life, you don't just sometimes need the good news. Sometimes you got to declare that you are even ready for the good news by participating in what it is that you desire and not what you don't. So many people are very comfortable just looking, especially on Facebook, standing on the sidelines watching, and love to see you in person, and said, I watch all your lives. I've been feeding for you for umpteen years. Well, I'm saying let's do an exchange today. If you want some good news, then let's get some good news feeling in here. You got to tell me you want it, because otherwise I'm coming to put food in your mouth that you didn't ask to be fed. So I want some agreement today. Today, I'm demonstrating for you sometimes how to even prime yourself to be able to receive the good portion. Come on, somebody talk about the good portion. To be able to receive the good portion. Because if you there's enough of the bitter cup that Jesus said, pass from me, pass this bitter cup from me. There's enough of the bitter cup going around. Yeah. There's enough of the bitter cup that's being passed around. And some say it's more to come. Some say it's more to come. The news is telling you to prepare for food shortages. And then you agree. And then you take action based off of what they told you to prepare for. And now your mind is rehearsing it over and over again. And then you say, but what if I'm not prepared? But have you ever been as prepared for the good news, for the good portion? Have you ever set yourself up to prepare for the good portion? So I'm inviting those of you who are prepared for the good portion to join me on live. Is there one? Let's do a practice altar call. Is there one? Will there be one who has some good news from doing the work of Happy Pocket Full of Money? Because I got some good news. Now, the old people say, I can't tell it all. I can't tell it all for the time that I have committed to be here. But when I tell you all, my girlfriend, Ari Squires, has a saying. I want you to affirm this with me today. I'm going to give you one more thing to put yourself in position to receive it now, good news now or later, or the good portion now or later. All I see is possibility. Anything is possible. This is a fertile season. This is an opportunity knocking type of season, or it's the popos, or whatever y'all consider the popos. But let's keep going. You want to know the good news? I came today to share some good news with you because that's how it's been coming for me. You know how when you're doing spiritual work and all of this is happening, there is a tendency to go between what you can do and what is really being done by the universe, God, or the divine, whatever you call it, whatever you refer to it, whatever system you use. And you know how sometimes that there can be moments where you question. And that's why we talked a lot about our mouth last week. Remember, we talked about our mouth. So that means you had 7 days between last week and this week to make some adjustments about what you were saying out of your mouth. So I'm asking for those of you who even made small adjustments, do you have something that you can come on and share and celebrate, or put it in the comments, like I said, and I'll read it. Hey, Donna, I see you. Okay, I see you, Karen. She wants some good news. I see some Diane. Diane says she wants some good news. I see Jolene says she wants some good news. I see a Facebook user. I see my brother, Ifoma, who says he wants some good news. Alafia to you, my brother. Susan says she wants some good news. Monique says my sunshine sister wants some good news. So guess what? Then this is who that's going to apply to today. So I'm working on several projects. To be quite honest with you, I'm working on several projects in 3 different industries. And when you're familiar with something, and I've been coaching for a very long time. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I didn't come to Facebook and do copycatting and look and come and take somebody's program and say, I'm going to steal from their followers or try to go in their community and build and I'm going to launch a group and I'm going to do that. I came to Facebook already with community, various communities, because I'm a movement community kind of girl. And including my own family, my own bloodline. And so I've been working on these projects, and not to mention, I've shared with some of you all that I'm getting ready for another spiritual ordination that requires a year of purification. I remember I shared that with you all. Well, that's supposed to have been happening this week. This week. It was supposed to be happening last year around July. And before that, I had to choose because of, to do the show. So in other words, there's this presence of something that is coming for me, that's building, that I've sacrificed for, I prayed for to get to that particular date. But then there's been a change, there's been shifts. So as I get more new information about how our global economy is changing, how work is going to look different, as I have gotten new information about investments, and I've been sharing them in our business incubator. I've been sharing them in our community when we were investing in gold and cryptocurrency. If you were one of the ones who invested in gold and cryptocurrency, then you just just send a word, emoji or something, because you were one of the first responders. So I say all that to say that even as I prepare, even as I plan, even as I have to shift with the shift, because there is a global shift happening, right? I have consistently gotten this good news. LaTanya, you have everything that you need. There is no lack. In fact, everything you need has been all around you, even in the industries that I'm working on, some new projects, others continuing projects, right? Even with my ceremony that's coming up. So I had this experience that was so humbling. It was such good news. Good news can also require you to shift your mindset, your thinking, because I got such a confirmation yesterday. My eye looks like it's because I guess it's adjusting to this light or something. One eye looks smaller than the other. I go to my email, right? For this project, I open my email and I see somebody that I know directly. I can't give it all away, who influences the next thing that I'm doing, and has always been there and has always been available. And I never asked for support or help. And the good news that I want to share with someone today is you don't have to know how. When you think about your goals, your plans, your desires, you don't have to know how. I remember when Jamia Van Zant spoke these words one day on a Sunday morning when we were into heavy praise and worship and setting the atmosphere. And Jamia Van Zant said, I don't have to know what. I don't have to know when. I don't have to know how. All I have to know is who. And the who that she was talking about was the I am. And so that's the good news. Somebody out there is worried about how. Somebody out there has been worried about when. And there's some people who are jumping to make decisions, temporary decisions, with expecting permanent solutions, or making permanent decisions when we're moving through a temporary time. And I understand that people are saying, well, hey, the threat of death has not been there. But I said to Elder Vicky John, I see her name. Someone said, I don't know. I can't see who the user is. It just says Facebook users. Be prepared for the goodness and good portion. I have this book in my possession, thanks to Dr. Vicki Johnson, and I have not read it yet. I do have good news declaring I am confident and I can do this. Okay, good. I'm glad you have it because of Dr. Vicki Johnson. There's several people who've used this curriculum and gotten it from so many different resources. But I want to share with you in terms of the good news. That's so good. You said I'm declaring I am confident and I can do this. So I can't tell you how many people have declared, decreed, proclaimed, and then the moment that trouble comes, the moment that situations show up, then we turn back to whatever is being pumped into our consciousness. But one of the things that it says about our goals, there's a right way to set goals. There's a right way to set goals in terms of happy pocket full of money. Your goals are a prophecy of what you shall one day become. If you do not know where you are going, you will end up exactly there. Where? I'm going to say that again. If you do not know where you are going, you will end up exactly there. Where? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you have no specific goals, you will get no specific results, is what that means. Remember, the source takes your thoughts, your mind's images, and manifests them into your reality. So when people are coming on saying not to watch the news, not to repeat it, be careful what you're taking in. If you're taking in, if you look at, to be quite honest, most Black TV is trauma based. Most when we zone out in terms of Netflix and chill, it's how can you chill when you're watching trauma? But you want to create life. You want to create money. You want to create projects. You want to create clients. You want to create relationships. You want to create orgasms. You want to create sex. You want to create money. You want to create. But then we look at the things that get in the way of our creation. Or we listen to it, or we repeat it, but we have been taught from a slave narrative, post-traumatic slave narrative, not to question God, not to question people. So you can't question God, you can't question people. And you certainly can't question people that you've been conditioned to believe are in authority over you. And you don't, and so your divine sovereign authority to speak over your life, your divine sovereign ability to activate those tools, that Reiki that you use, those crystals that you use, those things that you, so where is all that right now? The good news is you don't have to always worry about the how. When you plan to win, when you expect to win. I've been posting in my stories. I do recommend you check out my Instagram stories because I like to have fun and be artistic and creative and expressing and sharing. And or sometimes on Facebook, it's hit or miss on Facebook, I confess. But I go where it feels good to deposit, right? And if you're watching it, comment, let me know. And we all have goals. So I started off sharing with you my goals. Do you all have some goals? Talk back to me. Do you all have, you don't have to tell me what they are, but do you have some goals? Did you have some goals set up before March 2020 and you had to reroute? How many of you for the first 2 to 3 months of last year did not know how? You didn't know what, you didn't really know when, and you didn't know anything, but all you knew was who. But who, what is your who? I want to give you an acronym for who later on. Okay. I have some good news. He goes on to say goals are planned thoughts, directed thoughts. Goals are planned thoughts, directed thoughts. You can plan what you intend to think and what you intend to manifest. Without planned and directed thought, your life will be unplanned and undirected, seemingly haphazard and seemingly unreliable. I thought that was really key in terms of the message that I was getting about not worrying about the how. You know how when you do vision boarding, you have a vision of what it is that you desire. Can you relate? You know what you desire. Some people don't know what they desire because there's some people who focus around resisting what they don't want. So therefore being resistant. One of the lessons in my good news was being open, because this resource had been around me since I literally started my business. And I struggled probably for the first 3 years in my business because I have known a ministry model, a service model. I've worked in the government, in public and private sector. I was coaching and ministering and building on, as I went, building my skills, building my knowledge. But when you talk about business and commerce and sometimes even health and wellness, you don't know what you don't know. And so when we hold tight positions, or we've been so self-protected from getting hurt, from somebody finding out that everything is not okay, from asking for help. When you've been self-protected, sometimes you don't even know what self-protection looks like. So nothing can come out and nothing can come in. And so therefore, I was not even open, and I had to ask Spirit, how in the world was I so closed that I couldn't see the wealth that was right in front of me, the opportunity that was right there, the resource that was right there. Somebody somewhere, you're so worried about the how that you can't see when the resource is in front of you. I'll give you another example. A lot of you all don't know, but when you really are advancing, some of you all who want to come in and duplicate coaching businesses take a minute to build. And so when you come in and you want to duplicate what somebody's been doing for 10 years, 20 years, building their relationships and that type of thing, you are out of order. And so sometimes we're so focused on looking at other people's end result that we don't ask how for a roadmap, for a blueprint, because there's an inherited arrogance that has been happening probably since the baby boomer generation, where we stopped relying and working in cooperative economics and working with one another and letting our families know. I just had to have a conversation with someone. The good news is I found another sweet spot in the coaching that I love, which was working with mothers and daughters. I was so lit up being able to facilitate a mother and daughter healing. I love working on the show and working with families to create generational healing and have tools to get past those patterns. So I love that space. And when you love and when you like something, do you celebrate it? Do you get in there? Did you know how the thing that you wanted was going to show up? Sometimes when you are degreed, when you have been institutionalized by any system, whether it's the educational system, the prison system, whether it's been government, whatever you do, whatever it is that you've been doing, when you've gone to school and somebody has taught you and trained you how to process information, does not necessarily mean you know how to think. I'll just stop at think. Hey, sis, I look forward to interviewing you soon, and it's so honored to have you join me live. So I say that to say, if you look back over your life, you know how they say, when I look back over my life and I think things over, you know that, y'all know that song. When you look back at where you are now, how many of you had situations, promotions, upgrades that came seemingly out of nowhere? And you had a plan. You planned it. You went to school to get a degree to do this. You thought you'd be married by this time. You thought you'd raise your children with the person that you got pregnant by. You come on now, and then something happens. Life comes in and reroutes you, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But then you find yourself in a position where you're saying, "Look at how this just showed up." And it wasn't how you thought it was. When it says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I cannot tell you how many teachers have appeared, disappeared, and reappeared because I wasn't ready. When you are so focused on the how, sometimes you really are attached to the end result, but not even available for the now moment. Oh, that ought to bless somebody right now. That ought to bless somebody right now. The writer says in Happy Pocket Full of Money, take goals seriously. Take goals seriously. The visionaries and dreamers of the world are the saviors and driving force behind it. So some people don't trust your spiritual tools. What's happening on the planet right now is spiritual warfare. I can't say this enough. So whatever you have been taught and conditioned to believe about your spiritual practice, if you have not tied in and connected, you definitely are one of the ones who are worried about the how. Because you don't know how to think outside of the boxes that the institutions put you in. Oh, that ought to bless somebody. Hey, bless me. I don't be knowing where this stuff be coming from sometimes. It blessed me. But I want to close with this. Happy Pocket Full of Money. We're talking about Happy Pocket Full of Money. The universe, the world, the source, God is friendly and supportive of your dreams and aspirations. Simply have a vision. Believe in that vision and you will realize it. Okay, some people say, oh, that's good. That's good. That's good talk. I'm not coming just to fluff you up. I got some more good news I'm going to close with. I really do have some more good news for those of you who stayed. Conformity can be your worst enemy. If you do what the crowd does, you will get what the crowd gets. Oh my God. Cue my music. Cue my music. Oh, that's me. I'm supposed to cue my music. Conformity. This is on page. Let me see the page. For those of you who aren't studying with me, because there's going to be some benefits for those of you who are. Conformity can be your worst enemy. If you do what the crowd does, you will get what the crowd gets. Every day, people get up in the morning to go to work just like everyone else and do things like everyone else. But ask them why they do it, and they will tell you that they really don't know. I can't get up in your face anymore. Ask them why they do it, and they will tell you that they really don't know. They just work hard all day because someone else does. And their reason for doing this is that they wish to pay their bills and provide for themselves and their family. Woo, child, I'm sweating. Where's my fan? To get something better than the crowd gets, you have to do one thing different. Just one thing. Somebody say one thing. Somebody just say one thing. Somebody just say one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. One thing. It's just one thing, one thing, one thing. Just one thing. Now, I said I was going to close with this. He said, you just have to do one thing, Janai. Just one thing. Oh, my God, Kirby. You did what? Come on this live with me, Kirby. Come on this live with me. Come on this live with me. This is a talented, beautiful soul. I just put the link in the comment. One thing. Somebody just say one thing. One thing, one thing. Sometimes you just got to do one thing, one thing, one thing. He closes and he says, hard work alone is not the key to wealth. Hard work alone is not the key to wealth. So I want you all to join me. Here's the good news. Y'all know that I have something called Shift Everything, right? I have decided to do this process live. It really is a self-study that you can do on your own. During this season, y'all see how I get on here and cut up and teach and, you know, all of that. If you're still watching, I'm telling you, get in on the in the comments is the Rebirth exclusive link. For the altar call level is $5. For those of you who get in on the $49 level, now I'm going to send everybody a special link for a September 1st start of the next Shift Everything. This will be in the link, the Shift Everything. The whole 21-day process is only $97 for the self-study. Of course, with me participating, when I make it available to the public, it's going to be the live price. But for those of you who are in community, go on and get into Rebirth Exclusive. You can get in at $5 right now and just get the altar call, the replays, and some other bonuses. You can upgrade to $49. I'm going to do the first 7 days free. Okay. Shift Everything. I'm talking about Shift Everything. If you haven't already experienced the 21-day process, there's going to be daily calls. We're going to program our reality for 21 days. Program your reality. I want to get in. I said all that to say, y'all know that at the end of the day, the first thing I am is minister. That's why you see Rev Coach. I have, sometimes when I have a lot of things on my plate, there's been scheduling challenges and I have to manage it, but I'm willing for the willing. You have to get in. You have to get in 24 hours. So I'm going to let this play for 24 hours at one of these levels for the people who enroll. One of the bonuses at the $49 level is that you get access to the 12-month study. Each month is a different principle. That is sanctuary. There's altar call, there's sanctuary. Well, I should say there's altar call, and then there's sanctuary. In the sanctuary, you will have access to that bonus material, but I literally am going to show you how to use it and work it. It works when you work it. This can help us to have an integration to start our day for 21 days. You'll be given, there's already pre-recorded material. There's already modules and exercises. And the one thing that's in the Shift Everything process literally can be the one thing that shifts everything. So if you do this one thing, I literally could just do a check-in on that one thing. But of course, you're going to get a recording every month, and then we're going to do a live check-in after the 21 days. So you'll have 1 week with me, then you'll do a live. And then we're going to see if you like it, if I like it, we stay with it. And every month until you get what you say, till you see what you say manifested. Because when you don't stay with it consistently, then what happens is you start the process over. But what many of us resent starting over when it really is an opportunity. Rebirth is happening on the planet. Are you in position to deliver the baby, the vision that's inside of you? So I see there's a comment on the topic of conformity, a saying that my mother would say in Spanish. Dime con queen. I can't say it. I should do better. Tell me who you're hanging with. Crowd, influence, conformity. And I'll tell you who you are. Okay. Can you sign that so I can say your name? I don't know who wrote that. That's good right there. I wish I could have said it all in Spanish the way you did. So are there any questions, comments, ahas that you want to share? Oh, Stacy, yes. I just talked to somebody that's living in Belize right now as an act of sanity. I need to tell you, we need to talk. We need to connect. So any ahas that you had just from me sharing or in your own study of Happy Pocket Full of Money? Today I came out on the main page because of the algorithms, and I want to really invite you all to join me because things are about to intensify. And so when things intensify out there, then we have to intensify our focus in here. You feel me? Any ahas? For those of you who are in the community and you know how to do a aha, a digestion, a question, go ahead and model that for people who are watching. Those of you who are in the community, if it was because an aha can be a reminder. It could be one statement. It could be a moment when I was acting silly and called myself singing and that made you laugh. It doesn't have to be all the time something deep. What happens is we have situations in our life where we don't process it. A lot of times we're taking in so much information. So when I asked you on the front end what your good news is, do you want to share? And I asked you to come and join. It's really to get in the practice. It's not because I'm trying to get any views or any of that. It really is so that we can know what tribe up means. Tribe up means sometimes just sharing energy. I was talking to someone today who's always pouring, who has almost 1 million followers. And she said, I just needed somebody to pray for me. I stopped talking and chatting and began to pray for her. Thank you. So Janai, you said that your aha, feel you. Do not focus on who, when, or how. Aha, I'm good enough. Okay, come on. But see, when you restate it, it's the same way you want to anchor it in. Because when I'm listening, or when I'm listening to someone, I know my spirit guides are talking, or my brain is processing. My heart sometimes can feel it. So I just give me two more. Give me two more. Thank you for those who shared. Okay, thank you. I feel you on everything that was shared. Spot on. Okay, good. Any ahas or something you're digesting, you're walking away with. Now, the link to join the Rebirth exclusive now in the next 24 hours. And the offer that I'm going to make for less than the price of admission for the normal 21-day process is going out to everyone who signs up today in the next 24 hours. I don't have to know how, when, where, what. The who is I am. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good right there. See, sometimes just you feeding it back blesses me, because sometimes I am channeling, I'm transmitting. And sometimes it's not easy transmitting on this main Facebook page because I'm so empathic that I can feel even I can feel the algorithm. So I appreciate you, those of you who put it back, gave it back to me as I gave it to you, because that helps to remind me of what I'm transmitting. And so in closing, I'm not saying don't plan. I'm saying plan. Take your plan seriously, so seriously that you're unwilling to be distracted by or focus on doom and gloom, bad news, angry spirits, debates, Because there's a lot of debates happening right now. Speaking vile statements against other people's health, or their money, or their children. You know, sometimes that becomes the distraction to your own manifestation. I'm going to close with this last comment. The link is in the comments. It's in the comments for Rebirth Exclusive, right there in the comments, the description, the caption. I would have to close this whole screen to go and find it. Well, wait a minute. I might be able to multitask. Wait a minute. I can multitask. Wait a minute. I did it. See, I almost closed the screen. Got to know yourself. Here's the link, Nicole. Just dropped it in the comments. So the last person said, the good news confirmed my actions that the last few days were conversations with family and friends were sharing bad news. And I've had to say, let's shift conversations now. Absolutely. It doesn't mean that you're being cold. It doesn't mean that you're tuning out and not being numb. You know, do you need an update every day? As soon as you call somebody, do you need a report of who died? Let's do reports on who lived. Who's living today? I want right now, everybody in the comments. I just got this. Just got it. Not mine. So I'm giving it away. Just today, for the few people that are still here, who are you grateful for that's right here today, alive and well? Who's alive? Give your flowers right now. They don't even have to know you're doing it, because when you call your mama them, they're going to tell you about who is not living, who's struggling. Who are you grateful for that's alive today, right now? In the comments. You just put it in, just flood it. Just with a storm, you know. Abraham Hicks calls it a storm of appreciation. Get in the vortex is what Abraham Hicks says. Get in the vortex. Who's alive? My mother is living, y'all. My mother is living through COVID. My stepfather is living. My sister works in a hospital and she's alive. My cousins are on a text thread and we text them. And God sisters are texting scriptures every day. Alive. Come on now. Who is alive? Who's a positive energy in your life? Can you just get excited about the positive energy? I'm so grateful that I have a spiritual godmother who's one of the baddest women on the planet. I'm so grateful that my Ocha ceremony is not canceled. It's just has not been declared yet. I'm so grateful. Oh my God. I'm so happy and grateful that my best friends, I have best friends who speak the same spiritual language. Come on now. You see what I'm doing here? You see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening here? You see what's happening when you participate? Do you see what's happening? I'm so grateful that my niece and my nephew are living. I'm so grateful that my 3 sons are alive and well, and they're playing games and they're competing in competitions. I'm so grateful, happy and grateful that I'm connected with educators and that can teach you and teach our community about homeschooling. I'm so happy and grateful that my husband is alive and well, and I get to wake up and laugh with him and sometimes fight with him. I'm so grateful that his mother, my mother-in-law, is alive and all my aunts are living. I'm so happy and grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that when I had people who transitioned in my family, that my family closed ranks around one another. I'm so happy and grateful. You feel me? Y'all feel me? Do we do a live reports? Who's living? Who's living free? Who's living well? I know some people that's open businesses. I know some people who's been thriving in a pandemic. I know some people who got government contracts and I know some people who got new clients. I know some people who bought new cars. I know some people who just purchased a house and just went to a housewarming. I know some people who are living and thriving, y'all. You feel me? Get in, tribe up around those people. I know some people who went through COVID and came out on the other side. I know some people who got diagnosed with it and never had any symptoms. I know some people who are using holistic solutions. Come on now. can you do a rampage of goodness? A rampage of good news. Y'all want to do that? Let me know if you want to do that. 21 days. And I dare you not to win and not to manifest. You would have to be stuck on stupid to go 21 days watching what comes out of your mouth. Repeating one action over and over again. One action is one action. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who have shared, and I'm going to acknowledge you. I'm so grateful for you, Jeannie. I'm so grateful for you, Janae. I'm so grateful for Karen. I'm so grateful for Pam. I'm so grateful for Susan. I'm so grateful for Betsy. I'm so grateful for you, Patrina. I'm so grateful for you, Yanisa. I'm so grateful for you, Pam. I'm so grateful for you, Stacy. And I'm so grateful for you, Nicole, and you, Pam, and you, Ifoma. And you feel me? Do you feel what I'm saying, y'all? Come on now. So this is my favorite one that Monique loved. I get to choose those thoughts. I get to choose those thoughts. I'm going to close out the way I came in. Keep on dropping your gratitude.
My feelings are not determined by a day of the week.
Yeah.
My life has no day. It has moments. I receive the truth of this. I work on believing this more. I release the temptation to practice the habit of sacrificing my nutrition for the grind. I'm a hydrated woman. Knowing my well-being is the fuel to my gorgeous work ethic. Because of my work, I create agency for my business practices improving. I will organize my admin tasks for my business. I no longer procrastinate because I release the belief that I procrastinate. I treat my time as my moneymaker. I am a source of power in my business. I am not a slave to my business. I know and I learn my numbers for my business.
I love you all. There's nothing you can do about
it. My business systems are of excellence. I attract assistance to the needs of my business. I know who I serve. I'm clear on my strategy to be powerful, impact people, and to profit. I'm so aligned in my